Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick 14 of my favorite 31 hard rock and heavy metal albums of the 70s countdown that we've been doing all month long here in July 2023. We've got 31 days in the month. I have picked out my 31 favorite hard and heavy albums of the 70s. No more than 2 albums by any one band. That's kind of the limitation I'm putting on myself. But you guys can do whatever you want down in the comments. If you want to do 3, 4, 5 albums by any single band, go right ahead. I was always tempted, of course, but then you'd have 5 or 6 bands would make up the whole list. Right? So that's not so much fun, right? We know how great some of these bands are, but especially this band today. This is a debut album. Excuse me, from this American band, which came out February 10th, 1978. Recorded at Sunset Sound Recorders in Hollywood, California for Warner Brother Records, produced by Ted Templeman. I knew as soon as I said that you would know what it is, right? Well, it's one of 2 because Ted produced 2 dynamite debut albums in this decade. We're going to get to another one soon, but today it's Van Halen, first album, right? Yes, the beginning of it all, right? One of the most groundbreaking heavy albums of the decade, or any decade, right? I mean, just right off the bat, these guys just busted out of the gate with just some terrific otherworldly sounds, molten otherworldly guitars, those high-pitched vocals, a thunderous rhythm section, of course, David Lee Roth on vocals, Edward, or Eddie Van Halen, however you like to call him, the late, great Eddie Van Halen on guitars, backing vocals, Michael Anthony bass and backing vocals, and Alex Van Halen on drums. And this is just chock full of winners. Yet top to bottom, I mean, it's still to this day the Van Halen album that I go back to the most. There's another 1 or 2 from the 80s that I think kind of contend to this, and there's one also in the 70s that I think is pretty damn special too, but I always consider this the greatest achievement of this band. Running with the Devil, I mean, man, that bass, that guitar, that groove, the amazing guitar soloing from Eddie, killer. And then speaking of guitar soloing, Eruption, I mean, how much did that change the landscape of guitar playing, right? And that kind of segues right into You Really Got Me, their remake of the Kinks' classic, one of the great remakes of all time, great covers of all time. And, Eruption just showing every little facet of Eddie's playing, the fast, speedy runs, the fast picking, finger tapping, tremolo bar. I mean, the guy who's a master at everything. Ain't Talking About Love, arguably one of the greatest Van Halen songs of all time. That guitar riff at the beginning, just legendary. I'm the One, supercharged. That's metal right there, right? I mean, that riff, holy cow, so good. Then over on side 2, you got the fun, groovy Jamie's Crying. You got the killer metallic atomic punk, right? Feel Your Love Tonight, more of kind of like a breezy pop ballad, right? Fun song. And Little Dreamer, let's slow things down a little bit. It's still fun and playful, but it's a little darker. Great vocal from Mr. Roth on that one. Then you got, of course, Ice Cream Man. So much fun. Another great cover. These guys did some good covers. He arguably did a little too many covers, but that's Ice Cream Man is always fun. And what a blistering guitar solo from Mr. Van Halen on that one. Awesome. And then, of course, the absolutely crushing On Fire. There's just so many bangers on this album. Just crazy. Top to bottom. There's arguably not a weak song. I mean, for me, the only track that, I like Feel Your Love Tonight. It's probably my least favorite out of everything on here, but it's still really good. So it's, top to bottom, spectacular. Let's look at the charts. Australian album charts, number 17. Canada, number 18. The Dutch charts made it to number 36. Japan, 44. You would have thought this was done better in Japan. But again, it's a debut album. They would do much better after this. New Zealand, 22. UK made it to number 34 and only made it to number 19 on the Billboard charts. Sal, upon the reissue, the first reissue in 2011, made it to number 89 in Italy. Go figure. All right. The singles, You Really Got Me, hit number 36 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Running with the Devil made it to number 84. So neither one lit up the charts, although both staples of classic rock radio going forward. Now for the certification. So here's the interesting story. So not a very high charting album in most of the world, but this album has racked up sales over the years, and specifically as each album came out after this one, the back catalog just kept selling and selling and selling. So Canada, this is 4 times platinum, 400,000 units sold. Finland, gold, 25,000. France, gold, 100,000. Germany, gold, 250,000 copies. The Netherlands, platinum, 100,000 copies. UK, gold, 100,000 copies. And in the United States, diamond, 10 million copies sold. That's a lot of records right there. If you look through the Van Halen discography, mega sales across the world. Just incredible how much, I think that when you look, when we're going to look back on all of this stuff years later, after all these bands, most of the members are gone and whatnot, and they're just part of history. We're going to look at like Van Halen and like Led Zeppelin as arguably the 2 biggest selling like heavy music bands, one from, of course the UK and one from the US. Those are going to be like remembered as the 2 biggest selling heavy bands from either continent. It's just, when you look at they're very comparable, the sales numbers, and just consistent, right? Album after album after album. You look at the whole Van Halen catalog, it's just full of, big sellers. Same thing with Zeppelin. So pretty incredible when you think about it, right? So anyway, that's my pick for today. Van Halen, the first album, the best album in my opinion. It's just my opinion, though. They have other great ones, but to me, this is numero uno. Great production by Ted Templeman. It made everything about this just sound so perfect. I often liken the production values and the sequencing and like the non-stop just gems to the first Boston album. Just really different otherworldly production values and the instrumentation and just the vocals, everything just perfect. Sequencing, just really great. One of the great albums of the 70s. So yeah, that's my pick for today. Let us know what you think of the first VH album in the comments below, as well as your pick number 14 for today. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page where you can get all sorts of cool Sea Tranquility gear. So please do investigate, and thanks for all your assistance there, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for pick number 13. Stay tuned for that, and lots more also coming up tomorrow. We've got What's Hot with Sea Tranquility Day, new album review day, so stay tuned for that. Lots coming at you. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you real soon. Bye-bye.